I am really excited for you right now. Today is the start of your journey as a YouTube influencer. If I'm being honest, I am so jealous of you because you're about to have so much fun in these next few months. In the last video, I told you about the success you can expect if you follow this program. But I want to ask you a question. Can you imagine the journey you will take to get there? What do the next 6 months look like for you? The next 3 months, the next week even? In this video, I want to talk about your journey and what you can expect as you go through this program. We've been in your shoes before. We started doing this over 6 years ago with our channel Simple Pickup. But in that time, we've also started multiple other successful YouTube channels as well. On top of that, for 2 years before creating this course, we recruited a group of beta students that we literally trained to become YouTube influencers. They started out with nothing, no channel, no views, no fans, and we helped them become the real deal. All of them now have millions of people around the world watching them, and they're living their dream lives. This is gonna be your journey as well. Now, before I tell you about the road you'll be walking down, I wanna share with you what my personal YouTube journey looked like. Why? Because we started our YouTube careers from very humble beginnings, the same way that you're starting right now. For us, it took 6 years to get where we are today. In that process, we've learned so many things about how to become an influencer. This course is all about passing that knowledge to you so you won't need 6 years to achieve the same success we have. In fact, based on our beta students, we can tell you that you'll most likely move 5 times as fast. When we started our journey, we had nothing. Kong and I were students at a community college. We were taking classes, but not enjoying them. We had a ton of student debt, and we were totally unsure about what we wanted to do in life. We were majoring in business at the time, and like a lot of college students, we had all these different interests and business ideas, mostly bad ones. For example, one of them was we wanted to start a t-shirt business to sell school spirit t-shirts. Another one was we wanted to sell used textbooks. And in one of our crazier ideas, we wanted to start a juice shop that sold juice with ice cream in it. So basically we had a lot of bad business ideas and a couple good ones, but the problem was we didn't know how to get our ideas in front of a lot of people. That was the biggest issue. During this time, we were also watching a lot of YouTube. That was probably what we were best at doing in college. We watched it more than we watched traditional TV. And then one day, Kong randomly said to me, what if we used YouTube to help with our business ideas? It's the perfect platform. If you can create good content, you can get your stuff in front of millions of people for free. And that made perfect sense to me. It sounded pretty good. So we started to try our hand at YouTube. It wasn't a lot of time investment at first, maybe 5 to 6 hours per week. Our first videos were really bad. We were complete novices. For example, one time we filmed an entire day's worth of video and then after coming home realized that the sound hadn't been recording the entire time. That actually happened a lot of times. We made videos and showed them to our friends, but they said they were horrible. For months, we didn't actually put anything online. This was our pain period, and everyone goes through it. It's a concept that we'll teach you about later in this course. But here's the thing, even though we call it the pain period, it was fun. Looking back at the journey, this was one of the most fun parts for me. Filming videos was like a puzzle where we were trying to figure out what worked and what didn't work. We were constantly trying to backwards engineer successful videos, and it was amazing when we were able to film something and see it click with an audience immediately. And eventually, a lot of things started to click. I still remember one of our first successful videos got retweeted by both The Rock and Ashton Kutcher. That's when we realized that we were onto some viral concepts. And that's when we were also able to ramp up from making $0 a month to about $3,000 a month. Once we realized that we had something special on our hands, Kong and I dropped out of school. The initial plan had been to do this on the side until we graduated, but the enormous amount of traction that we got made the decision a no-brainer for us. This is a transition period that you'll go through as well. Once you start to see success, you're gonna have to make a tough decision like that too. But don't worry, we'll walk you through that later. After we dropped out of college to do YouTube full-time, we recruited 2 other people to work with us. Our total revenue at this point was still just $3,000 a month, which might sound great, but split amongst 4 people was barely anything. Here's what our situation looked like at first. We decided to all move to Van Nuys, otherwise known as the asshole of California. If you've ever been, you know exactly what I'm talking about. It was a crap hole. The 4 of us lived in a 1-bedroom apartment. Me, Kong, our other business partner Jason, and our accountant Kenny. It was really bad. Our water turned brown for the first 20 seconds whenever we turned it on. There were bars on the windows to prevent people from breaking in. Kong and our accountant Kenny didn't have a mattress, so they would sleep on the floor at night in the same room. And our living room was used as both a bedroom and an office. Filming-wise, we also had really crappy equipment. This was over 5 years ago, so you couldn't just use your phone and film a video. We had to go to Costco to get the cheapest camera possible for our shoots. I would call this our period of trial and error. On the content side, we were continually learning what our audience wanted from us and pumping out videos that were getting hundreds of thousands and eventually millions of views. But on the monetization side, we were still making around $3,000 a month, supported only by the passive ad revenue that YouTube gives you. We were really ignorant when we started. We made very, very little money in those early days. But then we started to experiment with monetization. We researched all the different ways to monetize your audience. We started to test all of our theories out. And when we cracked the monetization code, we couldn't believe how easy it was to start making money from our channel. In just a few months, we were able to go from $3,000 a month to $50,000 a month in revenue. And then a few months later, we doubled that again and we're making $100,000 a month in revenue. Let me be clear, this is all recurring revenue. $100,000 would come in every single month. Our business was making over 7 figures a year, and it kept increasing. What was crazy about this is that we weren't working 10 times harder to make all this extra money. We were working the same amount that we had been when we were making $3,000 a month. We weren't working harder, we were just working smarter. And this is what we want to pass on to you. You're not going to need to go through the same pain period as we did, because we'll guide you through all the best practices for monetization. The experimentation, the testing, and the optimization for our channel has helped us create a system that we know works. After we started bringing in that money from our own channel, we wanted to make sure that it worked for others as well. We wanted to make sure that we weren't just some one-hit wonders. That's when we started our beta program. And we were just as successful with them. Now we want to teach you the same thing. At this point, a lot of students start to give me some really silly excuses. The most common one goes like this: Jesse, don't I need to drop everything in my life in order to do this and make a living off of YouTube? And the answer to that is no. In fact, in order to start making a living off of YouTube, all you need is 5 to 6 hours a week to start. There's a big misconception that you need to quit your day job or drop out of college in order to make YouTube work. That's just not the case. We've designed this program for people who initially won't have that much time to spend. You're in school, you have classes and clubs to go to, you have a job on the side, or you even have a full-time job and are free only when you get off work. That's okay. It's what Kong and I did when we started. And it's what most successful YouTubers actually did when they started. With just about 5 hours of free time a week, you'll be able to make a sustainable living off of YouTube. We'll teach you how to find your channel direction and your magical idea, how to film engaging and compelling content, how to get that content shared across the internet to the tune of tens of thousands to even millions of views per video. No matter what you want to do, whether you want to sell yourself, your skills, your business, YouTube is the best way to do it. Now, here's the caveat. If you were doing this on your own, I would say that it would be very hard for you to do all these things with just 5 or 6 hours a week. But you're a Jump Cut Academy member. The system that we've put in place, these videos, as well as the accelerator worksheets, will focus your effort on what matters. You'll know exactly what to do at every stage of your journey, and all your work will have maximum impact. If you get stuck, instead of spending days or even months going down the wrong road like we did, you'll have the benefit of us, as well as the community here, helping to correct your path. We'll show you how to get tens of thousands of views on a video through our blog strategy. We'll guide you through the process of getting brand deals after just a few emails. We'll show you how to set up your own online t-shirt store in less than an hour. And we'll teach you the most lucrative method of all, which is selling digital products to your audience. Now, I'm not saying this is gonna happen overnight. You're still gonna have to go through a pain period where things won't click. But once they click, the views will start rolling in. And once the views start rolling in, you'll be able to monetize your channel. From your work, you'll start to make significant recurring revenue. Money that will literally be cash in your pocket, enough to sustain yourself. This is the first part of your journey. You're gonna carve out 5 hours a week for your YouTube channel, and as a result, you'll end up making thousands of dollars a month in recurring revenue. The second step is where things get more interesting. As you get more successful, you're naturally going to want to spend more time on your channel. You're going to want to quit your job and do this full time. You should only do this once it makes financial sense to do so. And that's when the real fun starts. This is when you're going to see rocket ship growth for your channel, where you go from making good side money to real YouTuber money in the 6 or even 7 figures a year. Why? Because when you free up your time, when you quit your job or drop out of school, you will literally be able to focus all your time on the business. 5 hours a week is enough to help you create content and do some quick monetization, but the real way to scale your business is to work on optimizing all your business channels. These are things like advertising, merchandise, digital products, and brand deals. The best part about this? Once you have that machine running smoothly, you're going to literally make money while you sleep. That's not a joke. When I wake up every morning, I check my phone and I see sales that were made overnight while I was sleeping. These things won't happen automatically at first, but they will once you put the correct systems in place. Let me give you a few tangible examples of this. One of our beta students was making about $5,000 a month, which is pretty good. But we helped them with the process of hiring just one person to facilitate his brand deals. Doing that one thing tripled his revenue. Another one of our students used our method to sell t-shirts and ended up making $20,000 a month from it. Even on the content side, a huge benefit of going full-time is being able to see exponential growth with your content. With 5 to 6 hours a week, you'll be able to grow linearly, which isn't bad. That's a recipe for a solid business. But if you go full-time, you'll be able to iterate and test different content strategies. And that is super important. If you want to see exponential growth, testing is the name of the game. For Symbol Pickup specifically, that's exactly what we did. We tested a few different strategies to validate hypotheses we had for our content. Over the course of a few months, we tested a daily talk show, an animation of our podcasts, motivational videos, and how-to guides using stop motion. Some of them bombed horribly, but the ones that succeeded literally exploded and got us millions of views. That's the power of testing. Some things work, some don't. But once you find something that does work, you'll be able to use that format again and again to grow your channel. So are you starting to see the arc of your YouTube journey? You start out by only dedicating your free time to it. You work only during the extra hours you have. Once you gain a fan base and see traction, that's when you ramp things up a little more. You talk to your boss about working less hours in the week. Then when your YouTube revenue starts to come close to your actual job revenue, you quit your job to do this full time. Once you start full time, you start implementing our growth hacking strategies. You start testing hypotheses for your content, setting up your monetization channels. You'll jump from 10,000 views per video to hundreds of thousands, if not millions of views per video. Brands will be eager to pay you for sponsorships. Your audience will be eager to buy merchandise off of you. You're going to be making more as a YouTuber than you ever were at your old job. The more time you put into your channel, the greater the rewards are going to be. If you put your heart into this, you're going to become extremely successful, but your timeline for success is going to be much shorter than my own timeline. You're going to do things 5 times as fast as we did because of all the knowledge you'll use in this course. You'll have the benefit of hindsight. Do you see how this works? No matter what your goal is, we'll give you the roadmap to help you get there. So in the comment section below, here's what I want you to do. Tell me the minimum amount of money you want to make as a YouTuber. A lot of this course has to do with goal setting, so tell me what that number is. Now, I know you're excited about brainstorming and coming up with your YouTube idea and executing on it, but before we get there, the last few videos in this first section talk about mindset. Specifically, what critical mindsets you have to have in order to be successful as an influencer. In the next video, we'll show you why failing with your YouTube channel is actually a rite of passage.